Guys, we need to sit down and talk. DMZ has a problem, and it's a huge problem. And the biggest problem that we have is we're kind of divided. Today, we're going to be talking about the pre-man, six-man lobbies. We're going to be talking about six-man's assimilation. But I want to bring this from a perspective that I finally see, guys, the rest of the content creators, not the community, but the rest of the content creators finally coming to understand what I've been saying since day one. And that is the problem with the six-man lobby. But that's not the main problem we're going to be talking about today. That is part of the problem, but we're going to be talking about something that you guys are going to be like, I see what you mean, Laser, and you're probably right. So if you love DMZ like I do and want to see it moving forward, things have got to change, and we are the only ones that are going to be able to bring this change as long as we stand up and rise and unite and stay together. So let's go ahead and talk about what the problem is, and then I'm going to tell you guys what the bigger problem is when it comes to DMZ. So what is exactly the problem? Well, I've been preaching for the release of the game since season 1 that six-men shouldn't even be a thing. I've been saying this needs to be removed. A lot of content creators enjoy six-men, even the ones that say they don't, they still six-men. And I kind of feel like I am the only content creator out there, unless there's someone out there that I don't know of, that doesn't six-men regardless. I don't pick people up. I don't play. I just play the game the way it's, I feel like it should be played. And I just don't do it. Now, there are a lot of people that give reasons like, well, if the six-men are there, we might as well use it. But finally, I am seeing a huge amount of content creators finally coming to my side and agreeing that the six-man issue is a problem. So let's take a look at a couple of the comments that, a couple of the tweets they've been putting out recently. And I'm going to tell you guys what the bigger problem is apart from this. One of the really big content creators over there on Kick, which is Lucci, he actually put this up on Twitter. He put, DMZ is no longer fun. Here's why. Six-men are out of control, which is what I've been saying. Every lobby has a death squad wiping the map. The mission reward part I'm going to skip because that is a huge problem, but that is not what we're talking about right now. He then says, assimilation in general, it needs to go. I agree with you 100%, brother. No one cares if you die because they can just get revived by the enemy. Well said. So much so that people expect to be revived them every time. And I am telling you right now, that is the way people act. They are even rude. Like if you don't pick them up, they get upset. And then he says, what that done is create a game mode where nobody's afraid of death, and therefore the intensity is lost. I 100% agree with his statement. And I feel like that is a very good statement that we have. We have another content creator called Westy, and he put, how to fix the six-man death squad in DMZ. Turn off simulation beyond three-man teams. Bring back the truce system. Increase the truce to 180 seconds. Allow revive pistol to long revive dead players. Implement Daisy Hero Bandit system in DMZ. And then he goes and says, DMZ has been plagued with six-man death squads for months now. Whether the mode survives much or longer, it'd be nice to have a mode not to be dominated by the issue that could have been prevented. Now, these are two big content creators that go ahead and talk about the six-man. Now, I'm kind of finally glad that they're coming to my side and seeing the issue we have here with the six-man. And I would actually incentivize them and tell them, you know what? If you guys are finally coming to the side, or if you've been on the side of the six-man should go, stop picking people up. That's the best message we could actually send out. Instead of, be like, oh, I'm doing a mission. Can you pick me up? I know it's good for content. People won't get upset at you, but if we feel really adamant about it, let's band together and just have like maybe a day or a week where we don't pick anybody up so we could play the game that way it's meant to be played. That would be amazing. Maybe this sends out a message and everybody could get together and do it. Now, that is the problem at hand, but what exactly is the bigger problem? The bigger problem at hand is the identity. DMZ does not have an identity. That is the biggest problem. Currently, right now, if you ask anybody that plays DMZ, they'll tell you, so what is DMZ? They'll say, oh, it's an extraction shooter, right? And then you're like, well, if it's an extraction shooter, why do I have to pick people up? Aren't all extraction shooters one and done? Aren't you like go in there with your stuff, and if you die, and you lose all your stuff? How come now you're able to pick people up? So then you have the question, is it a loot and shooter? Because if it is a loot and shooter, then it makes total sense, because you go in there, you do a mission, you complete the mission, and you get rewards for that mission. And for some reason you run into someone that's PvPing in the PvE mode, you can link up with them and help them complete their mission as well. So what exactly is DMZ? Because when DMZ first got announced, it was very adamantly said that it was kind of be a very similar to Escape of Tarkov, right? It was going to be they were going to take the good stuff from Escape of Tarkov and make it better. If you anybody that plays Escape of Tarkov is going to be able to tell you, bro, Escape of Tarkov is actually a very hardcore game. It is so hardcore, it's hard to get into if you kind of come into it like a newbie and you got to learn the ropes. So we're taking a game that's super hard, and maybe we got to water it down a little bit because we want more people to play. So do we water it down to where it's PvE all the time, like kind of like what we're having with zombies, like where you're not going to be able to PvP at all? You know, is it that the route we're going? Because if that's the route we're going, they need to come out and say DMZ is this, because right now DMZ is neither. It's neither a Escape of Tarkov clone where it's a PvP and PvE, and it's neither a loot and shooter because everybody that says I'm doing missions gets upset that there's too much PvP. So I think once this big problem gets identified, I think it's going to clear everything away. Because if they just said, you know what, this is not a extraction shooter, this is mostly a PvE loot and shooter game. If you want to come and play it, then people will know what they're getting themselves into. But if you come out and say it's Escape of Tarkov and it's a extraction shooter genre, then make it into that. So that way people know what they get into. So people know if I infill with this backpack, there's a big possibility that I'm going to lose a backpack. If I infill with this, there's a big possibility that I'll lose that too. That way, once DMZ finally has an identity and we know what we're playing, I think the whole problem of the 6 months and everything else these content creators express about will come into fruition. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you feel DMZ has an identity problem? If you do feel like it does, let me know what identity it should have. Should it be a extraction shooter or should it be a loot and shooter? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope you guys are enjoying our DMZ content. If you are, do me a huge favor, drop a comment, drop a like. Don't forget, guys, if you need help in DMZ in any mission or just trying to do your passives, don't forget to stop by on the stream. We stream every day on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Links are down below. I hope to see you guys over there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.